Alright, listen up. If you think making love is just about what happens under the sheets, you're already behind. This isn't about basic, forgettable sex. This is about giving her an experience so deep, so intoxicating, that she craves you long after the night is over. Most guys get it wrong. They rush, they focus on their own pleasure, they do the same predictable moves. And guess what? She notices. But when you do it right, when you know exactly how to touch her, how to tease her, how to pull her in before you even lay a hand on her, that's when she surrenders completely. That's when she melts for you. I'm about to break down the 5 most powerful steps to making love in a way that sticks with her, mind, body, and soul. And trust me, number 1, it's the ultimate key. It's the difference between just being another guy and being the one she can't stop thinking about. But before we get to that, let's start with the foundation. Because if you mess up step 5, you'll never get to number 1. 5. The game starts before you even touch her. Making love doesn't start when your clothes come off. It starts before she even realizes she wants you. Women don't just crave physical touch, they crave anticipation, presence, the slow burn that builds until she can't take it anymore. It's in the way you watch her, the way your eyes linger just a second longer than usual. It's the way you stand a little too close when you're talking to her, letting your voice drop, letting her feel the heat between you without saying a word. It's in the small, accidental touches, the way your fingers brush against hers when you hand her something, the way you tuck her hair behind her ear and let your knuckles graze her cheek. Every moment should make her body wake up before you've even touched her properly. And here's the secret most men never figure out. A woman's body follows her mind. If you get in her head, if you make her feel wanted before anything even happens, her body will respond to you on a whole different level. So before you ever lay a hand on her, make her feel like she's already being touched. Let her mind race with thoughts of you. Let her imagine what's coming next, without even realizing she's doing it. That's how you make her need you. And trust me, once you master this, everything that follows will be 10 times more intense. But this is just the beginning. Because if you think this is powerful, wait until you hear number 1. That's where the real magic happens. The part that makes a woman surrender to you completely, in a way she's never done before. But first, let's move to step 4. Because if you don't get that right, you'll never get her to number 1. 4. Kiss her like it's the first and last time you ever will. Most guys treat kissing like some boring warm-up act, just a checkpoint on the way to the main event. Big mistake. If you want to make love to her in a way that stays in her mind long after you're gone, the kiss has to feel like an entire experience on its own. Imagine this. You don't just dive in. No, that's what amateurs do. You pause, let the air between you get thick, let her feel the tension before your lips even meet. Your breath brushes against hers, her pulse picks up, her body starts leaning in, searching for the moment, and then, just when she's expecting you to kiss her, you don't. You let her wait, let her feel that ache, let her want it so bad that when you finally close that gap, she feels it everywhere. And when you do kiss her, it's not just lips on lips, it's slow, deep, deliberate. One hand in her hair, the other trailing somewhere she wants you to touch, but isn't sure you will. Every movement should feel like you're discovering her for the first time. Like she's something you never want to stop tasting. And here's the thing, you don't just kiss her mouth, you explore. Her jaw, her collarbone, the sensitive spot just beneath her ear. Whisper something in between, something low, teasing, something that makes her body react. The way you kiss her should make her forget about everything else. It should make her feel like if this moment never ended, she'd be perfectly fine with that. And the best part? The way you kiss her sets the tone for everything that follows. Kiss her like you're just going through the motions, and she'll expect more of the same. Kiss her like she's the only woman in the world, and she'll melt under your touch. But here's the thing, this is still just step 4. If you think this is where the magic happens, you're not even close. Because number 1, that's the part that changes everything, but you can't rush to the peak. Not yet. Before you get there, you need to understand step 3. Because if you don't master what's coming next, she'll never fully give in the way you want her to. And trust me, when you get step 3 right, she'll start craving you before you even make a move. 3. Master the art of teasing, give then take away. If you think making love is all about giving a woman exactly what she wants, exactly when she wants it, you're missing the point. Women don't just want pleasure, they want to crave it. They want to be driven insane with anticipation. The real magic isn't in what you give her, it's in how long you can hold back before finally letting her have it. Think about it. When she's lying there, her breath already heavy, her body already begging for more, and you just pause. You make her feel every second of that wait. That's when she starts aching for your touch before you've even laid a hand on her. So here's how you do it. Start slow. Use the lightest touch, just barely skimming her skin. Maybe it's your fingertips tracing lazy patterns along her arms. Maybe it's your lips hovering just above her neck, close enough that she can feel your breath but not close enough to actually feel your lips. Maybe it's the way your hands settle on her hips, like you're about to take control, but instead of doing anything, you pull away. And when she reacts, when she exhales a little too sharply, when her body tenses ever so slightly, that's when you smirk, that's when you slowly bring it back, giving her just enough to keep her wanting more. This isn't just about physical teasing, it's mental. It's in the way you look at her, like you could have her right now, but are choosing to make her wait. It's in the way your voice gets lower, slower, like you're savoring every second. It's in the way you tell her, not yet. When you master this, you'll realize something. The longer you build the anticipation, the more intense everything feels when you finally give in. Every touch will be sharper, every sound she makes will be more desperate, every moment will feel like she's about to lose control. And that's the moment you want to get her to. But again, this is only step 3. If you stop here, she'll feel pleasure, sure, but you haven't fully taken her over the edge yet. That's where step 2 comes in. And if you don't get that right, she'll never surrender to you completely. Because step 2, that's when her body stops thinking and just starts reacting. 2. Take control, but know when to let go. There's a reason women are drawn to a man who knows how to take control. It's not just about dominance, it's about confidence, certainty, and making her feel like she's in the hands of someone who knows exactly what he's doing. But here's where most guys mess up. They think taking control means being aggressive, rough, or forceful. Wrong. True control is about leading the experience in a way that makes her feel completely safe, completely desired, and completely lost in the moment. So how do you do it? It starts with certainty. When you touch her, do it with purpose. Never hesitate, never second guess. If you run your hands over her body, do it like you're exploring something you've craved for a long time. Slow, steady, deliberate. If you pull her closer, do it like you've been waiting all night to feel her against you. She needs to feel that you want her, fully, intensely, unapologetically. But here's the twist, being in control isn't just about leading, it's also about knowing when to let her take over. Because there's a moment, right when she's on the edge, right when she's completely wrapped up in you, where the best thing you can do is let her take what she wants. Maybe it's when she grips your shoulders a little tighter. Maybe it's when she moves her body against yours in a way that says, I need more. Maybe it's when she looks at you with that unspoken challenge, daring you to give in. That's when you let her feel powerful. That's when you let her guide the rhythm for a moment, let her show you what she wants. And just when she thinks she's in control, you take it back. That's the push and pull that makes a woman completely lose herself in you. The balance of dominance and surrender, the dance of knowing exactly when to lead and when to let her take the reins. And when you get this right, she won't just feel pleasure, she'll feel completely owned by the moment. She won't just want you, she'll crave you. But now we've arrived at the moment you've been waiting for. Everything we've talked about, the build-up, the teasing, the control, it all leads to this. Because number 1, that's where you stop just being a good lover and become unforgettable. 1. The ultimate secret. How to make her completely lose herself in you. All right, you've built the tension, you've teased her, controlled the pace, made her crave more. But now is where you break her, in the best way possible. Most men think sex is just about pleasure, about stroking the right spots, moving the right way, getting her to climax. But that's the bare minimum. What really drives a woman crazy? It's the surrender. The moment she lets go completely of her thoughts, her control, her composure, until her body is acting on pure instinct, chasing every sensation you give her, completely lost in you. And that doesn't start when you touch her. It starts before that. It's the way you stand close enough that she can feel your body heat, but not quite close enough to touch. The way your eyes stay locked on hers, not just looking, but devouring, tracing every inch of her like you're memorizing the way she looks in this moment. The way your breath slows, deepens, making her unconsciously match your rhythm, syncing her body to yours before you've even laid a finger on her. You don't just rush in. You make her wait. You hover your lips near hers without kissing. You let your fingers trail up her arm so lightly she barely feels it, but it still sends chills down her spine. And when you finally touch her, you make sure she feels it. Your hands shouldn't just grab her, they should claim her, slow, firm, deliberate, like she belongs under your fingertips. And when you speak, your voice alone should make her shiver. Words don't have to be dirty, they just have to be heavy. Like a promise, like a warning. Like if she moves even an inch the wrong way, you might lose control. By now, her body is already betraying her. She's pressing into you, shifting under your touch, her breath's getting uneven, fingers tightening on your shirt, your arm, whatever she can reach. But you don't give her what she wants. Not yet. You take your time, your lips graze her neck, her collarbone, her jawline, but never where she expects. Your fingers trace lines on her skin, circling the places you know will drive her crazy, but never quite touching. Teasing, testing, controlling, and when she finally can't take it anymore, when she's gasping, tilting her hips, pulling you closer, you don't just give in. You make her work for it. Your rhythm needs to keep her guessing. Too slow, and she gets impatient. Too fast, and she gets numb to the pleasure. But when you change it up, slow when she expects speed, rough when she expects soft, stopping right when she's on the edge, that's when you own her body completely. And then, when she's right there, seconds away, trembling under you, breath hitching, body arching, gripping onto you like she'll fall apart if you don't finish what you started, you make her wait. You hold her there at the peak, keep her teetering on the edge until she's begging for it, until she's panting, pleading, eyes glassy, head thrown back, fingers digging into your skin like she'll die if she doesn't get what she needs. And then you push her over. And that moment, that first gasping, uncontrollable release, that's not just pleasure, that's surrender, that's her body breaking for you. And when you do it right, she won't just feel good, she'll be wrecked. Lying there, breathless, trembling, unable to move, staring at you like you just ruined every other man for her. And that's how you make a woman crave you. Not just in the moment, but every single time she even thinks about you. Because once you take her there, she'll never stop wanting more.